Welcome, everybody. This one's for TropheCase with founder and CEO Hunter Moffatt. Hunter, thank you for joining us today.
Peter, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So just off the bat, I've known Hunter, I think, since I've been about 9 or 10 years old. We played Little League together at Colony Little League. What team did you play for?
Yeah, back in Little League. Oh, what was I on? The Colony Elks.
You were in the Colony Elks? I was trying
yeah.
to think about that today.
Well, this goes back to, maybe even T-ball.
Right?
It's been a while.
And Colony Little League was a very serious Little League. You made errors. You had to run. I feel like these new younger athletes kind of maybe get a little easier in Little League than we did.
Double sessions for practice.
Double sessions.
Push-ups.
Snapping curveballs. Yeah, it was no joke.
Oh, yeah, we were throwing curveballs at 8 years old.
Oh, yeah, I saw my first curveball at 9. Yeah. We had some good times. Yeah, so it's been a pleasure knowing you over these years. Just to get this out in the open, I like to be honest and candid about my business. I am an advisor in TropheCase. I saw a great opportunity to be a part of this company, and I was lucky enough that Hunter made me a proposal, and I accepted, and I could not be more honored to be a part of TropheCase. So just wanted to get that out in the open. All right, so first question. Hunter, why don't you just kind of tell us about yourself and your athletic journey, since TropheCase has to do with sports and athletes and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. So I have played sports since a very young age, and I grew up in Colony. Obviously we played many sports together, and went to Colony High School. And as far as my journey as an athlete, I played football, baseball, basketball. I would play every sport if it was possible, and really that's.
Now, did that lead you to get your kind of aha moment for TropheCase? When did you get that feeling? When did you think of that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So really, how the vision of TropheCase came, and as I was describing, I played multiple sports in high school. Fortunate enough to earn a scholarship to the University of Albany to play baseball and football. And, ultimately I finished up my baseball career after going to the Schenectady Community College, finished up at the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. So playing multiple different levels of baseball, high school, college. I got into the real business world. I was working. Actually, at the time, I was getting my MBA and doing door-to-door sales for AT&T.
Nice.
And
I give you all the credit in the world. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, one of the best jobs ever.
I'm
Very
sure it is.
invaluable experience.
I'm sure it is. Probably gives you all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, 99% of the time, the door got slammed in your face. So
I'm sure one of those people is my dad.
You have to learn from that and figure out a way to be successful. But where TropheCase comes in, it was actually so that was a 100% commission job, worked 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. That was out in Connecticut. So I would drive home Saturday nights, see my family in New York, and pulled off and take a break from driving. And, I was just actually on social media, taking a look at, Instagram, pictures and, some videos at the time. And then Facebook, I saw a lot of pictures of, basically anything, dogs, food, babies, and there's really no specifics around it. And then took a look at LinkedIn, and that's something I use as a career, for building my career. And I just thought, why is there not something better for athletes that could capture their their statistics, their performance, their progress, but then also from the perspective of social media, their highlights, their footage, and be able to have that in one spot. So I took a look back on my career, and the technology isn't not what it is today, but I could have used this in high school to I could show my pitching, playing shortstop, my games, also kicking a field goal. My only option was to, I can make YouTube, but who would I send it to?
Yeah.
How would I get people to notice it? Or I'd make a videotape and send it to 25 schools.
Yeah. So I think it would be a great question to ask now is that if you were at a random kind of networking event and a person came up to you and said, Hunter, which TropheCase? What do you say?
Yeah, definitely. So TropheCase, it's a social media platform and a mobile application for athletes and sports affiliates. Really, we're trying to create a digital players card for athletes and really to revolutionize the way that athletes build and showcase their brand. And from a sports affiliates perspective, really just enable them to have the best options for searching and finding the players that they need.
Yeah. And for TropheCase, you're allowing most age groups, you're allowing most sports, right, to be on the platform. Why did you go with that more broad approach instead of focusing on maybe one sport, which is what you see a lot of the applications out there doing today?
Yeah, definitely. As far as the approach we're taking is we're looking to build really a template that caters to all ages, levels, and sports.
Yeah.
The reason for that is from what we've seen in the industry and some things that are out there now, which are really geared towards recruiting from high school to college.
Yeah.
We're looking to put a template out there. So as we said, and really our mission statement, to help athletes build their own brand and share their story. So as we evolve the technology, we're going to dive down into more specifics. So if it's baseball or esports or tennis, whatever sports category you're a part of, we could build it out more in depth for their specific needs.
Yeah, and would you say that there's a lot of sports that are underrepresented right now?
Exactly. That's actually great. So really from what we've seen, there's a lot of unrepresented sports. And actually, go on, download the app right now. There's 85 sports categories that you can choose from. I mean, from Olympic, they add up very quickly. Obviously, we have the core high school men and women's sports, but there's Olympic sports, triathlons. There's many of athletic communities and sports that are really unrepresented.
But what is the age group that these athletes can start on TropheCase at?
Yeah, so
what is the age?
We follow the COPA policy. So anyone under the age of 18 is able to download the application, and under the age of 13 they can with their parental consent.
Oh my God! Imagine counting Little League. If I could go back to see who I pitched against and had a no-hitter against, I would.
Yeah, exactly. So
I would love to have that information.
Yeah, we have got a few inquiries on.
I'd be talking crap. I'd be talking crap to people from 20 years ago who I struck out.
Yeah, we've got inquiries on our social media page about someone as young as 2 years old and taking some batting practice off the tee.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's we definitely want. And given remember when we started playing. Remember we actually had little. Who was it now? Either way, for the All-Star team, someone made a fake newspaper regarding the Colony All-Stars. This is what they did after each game. So I mean, it was already happening. That's why sometimes we compare it to a digital scrapbook or a player's card. So.
Oh boy, would I have loved to seen some of those stats I was playing on, even in 12-year-old All-Stars. Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, well, that's just given where technology is going today, it's this TropheCase, it's inevitable that it's going to happen, right? Because when we were kids, we can't go back and really have this because the technology wasn't invented. So it's why is it not out there now?
No. And it's great because as an athlete, when I was trying to go to college for sports, I was looking at D2, D1 baseball, or D2. I'm not going to say D1. And I remember I had to put together a VHS tape of one practice and send it to this tape to 50 different colleges. But if I had a centralized platform that I could promote to a variety of colleges and be able to learn more information on that specific college to make a better choice, I mean, that just seems like a much better way of picking the school that I would have wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So what would you say are kind of the core benefits for an athlete using TropheCase?
Yeah, so I mean, we look at this really from two perspectives. One being, we can definitely bring value to that athlete, like you just described. Someone that's starting at a young age. They go to, they're playing in high school. They have aspirations to play at a higher level. So we're looking to make it easier for that process.
To build that brand, to show their hard work, to show their highlights.
Exactly. One of the questions from our feedback, the college coaches are asking all these kids, well, where's your tapes? Where's your footage? Where's your profile? And they're just like, well, then they kind of turn around and say, Mom, Dad, what do we have, or what can we put together? So it's really not something
and how expensive is it to do that?
Yeah, and if they do, there is an expensive cost to certain platforms that could pay for it. But just given today's technology, it's people that are watching your games or watching your films and practices, it's something you can easily put together yourself.
Oh yeah.
We plan to incorporate tools as we evolve the technology just to make it easier for athletes to compile it. Essentially in one spot with the stats and social and the highlights, making it as easy as possible. The other, perspective we look at this is for, really for all athletes, all ages and sports, and that's just because, to get to the professional level, as we all know that LeBron James is the 1% of the 1%. So there's actually, from a global perspective, ages 6 to 55, there's actually 2 billion athletes.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to look at that gap, let's just even call it the 90% gap right there. It's a handful of athletes that are participating in sports and, really have nowhere to capture their growth and their highlights.
And what I see as an interesting thing about TropheCase where we could really capitalize on is for underprivileged youth, not only obviously we're in the United States right now, but even for emerging markets. Do you see this as a platform for, underprivileged youth to be able to use TropheCase to gain more exposure?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, exposure is the key word right there, regardless of, the background that you come from, and it's, not always the easiest. And, we're just looking to give everyone that opportunity to be seen, and
exactly.
Whether if you're in Schenectady, New York, and you want to maybe go to school somewhere else or just be seen, it is possible with technology to get your footage out there and get the exposure, and give everyone that opportunity.
Yeah, especially if you come from a tough neighborhood and you're working your ass off every morning, getting up, lifting at 6 a.m., promoting it, showing these people how you got to where you were. That's an opportunity that I don't think a lot of these athletes have right now, and that it's a free platform to athletes. So I think that's amazing. So what about how can, teams use TropheCase as a tool? So we got, AAU, which is huge. You got high schools. You got colleges. How are they going to use TropheCase as a tool to promote their programs?
Yeah, definitely. So we see the schools, the teams, colleges. We're looking to actually give them like more of a digital trophy case. And what I mean in the sense of that is, these institutions are not going away.
Yeah.
And actually, interesting part of feedback that we got at the National Federation of High School conference 2018 is that they have about 40 to 50 years of physical trophies, and they only have about 5 years of shelf space. But the way that we look at that and they actually saw great value in TropheCase from digitizing not only their physical trophies, which we could take a picture and put them in a creative way on our platform for their school page, but also from an easy way to put their data for their athletes, for their school, their records, all in some of them do have websites, but putting it in a location where it's easily accessible and looking to put the name TropheCase behind it as the brand, and really the platform that they can use.
So you're actually talking about schools, we'll just say schools or athletic directors or the athletic program, they're actually able to create a page on TropheCase and promote the things that they want to promote to attract athletes to the school. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So if you were to, go to download TropheCase right now, you could select from an athlete, a coach, athletic director. For schools, companies, organizations, brands, and partners, they can contact us, directly, and we could set up those affiliate pages
which is so important for people's safety and just that for the whole verification process.
Yeah, definitely. So we're looking to, really the solutions we're looking to provide with TropheCase, is number one, one network for all of these athletes and sports affiliates. Number two would be increasing exposure and then search capabilities. And three would bring validation to the sports industry itself.
Yeah. Do you, from speaking with the different athletic departments, do you see TropheCase as a way for, and not just athletic departments, high schools, AAU teams, do you see this as a way for them to save money to save money for their athletic funds, or do you see this as a way for them to better use those funds to target the athletes that they want?
From a monetary standpoint, we're definitely looking to give them a more cost-effective approach. Some of those more expensive costs are on the college recruiting and side of things, whereas they have to select, athletes and find them. Many of them still working off word of mouth, and then traveling.
Time,
then from the time perspective. But so we definitely we see that TropheCase will make this more efficient, and ultimately, really what we're giving with this digital players card is a 360 view of the athlete. So it's definitely been a lot of positive feedback, and see, what the costs are. The costs do vary across the market. Most of them are highly expensive. And also it's a very fragmented industry. So,
so it basically gives the coach or the recruiter of the high school to be able to really search for the athlete they're looking for instead of spending hours upon hours searching through tapes and things of that nature. Right through TropheCase, they can search for the exact athlete that they're
and just to give you a little bit more, let's just say UAlbany, they might be using multiple different platforms or per sport.
Exactly.
So we're looking to bring this all together and give them a platform that could be used by multiple different programs.
Yeah, and something I think that's pretty cool is, from a parent's perspective, because parents, I know my father was insane with it. I used to go to, different training academies every week. Do you think that, from a parent's perspective, TropheCase will be able to allow them to make more educated decisions about what teams they play for or about what colleges they go to and things like that?
Yeah, we're looking to bring a lot of visibility and value to the families.
Yeah.
From a young age, obviously, some of the challenges, or might see the news and media about social media.
Yeah.
So the feedback that we've gotten and, plan to continue with for athletes is that everyone sees TropheCase as a positive form of social media. They're learning, how to keep track of their workouts, their progress, build leadership to an extent, and, have teammates, but also, they're posting footage of them, that would be playing a sport or practicing or working out, versus, as I compared it to a little bit earlier, there's really no direction in some of the other platforms.
Yeah.
And that's where, some, as you can see in the media, some things can get out of control or, cause issues.
Yeah, I just see it as a huge thing, parents being able to research different colleges, who the coach is, where they come from, what players have graduated from there, and just get the information that they want in order to make the correct decision. I think that's so important.
Yeah, we see it bringing great value to, even from the high school perspective, college perspective. High school would be able to give visibility down to the modified level.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it starts, follow their players. I guess, upward from that, from colleges, it's go to a renowned college, you can see who's played there very easily, click into their player profile, see where they're at now. So really just looking to bring a connection and more value to the community.
Yeah, real centralized platform. So last thing I'll say about that is businesses. I think businesses also will be able to use TropheCase in a great kind of way, because whether you're promoting a trading academy like All-Star Academy, or you're selling a helmet, or you're selling a baseball, or you're selling a bat for Little League or for Babe Ruth, you're really able to specify who you want to target that product to and get that product out or service out to that specific athlete. Do you see businesses like that using TropheCase and being able to create their pages to promote to the athletes that they're looking to market to?
Yeah, we're definitely excited about that opportunity. When we get to the point where we have a critical mass of athletes on there using the platform, we see it as being very valuable to businesses from a local perspective, but also on a national scale. You can think about it, if you have, let's just say, 20 million athletes that are on this platform.
Is that your phone? That phone just go off? He yelled at me in the last episode because my phone went off.
It's a timer.
Yeah, jeez.
But yeah, so we're excited about the opportunity to actually, we see them as, strategic partners and companies that can utilize it for advertising and, for their specific needs. And ultimately, we see this helping the sports industry. So regardless if it's, say it's a lacrosse helmet or some type of apparel, helping them build their brand the same way.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I want to talk a little bit about your board of advisors. I know you have a pretty strong group there. Did you want to talk about a few of them?
Yeah, that works for me.
Some of the people we got on board?
Yeah, definitely. So start off with you first. And I guess I'd take a step back. Really what I've learned, my experience of playing sports and, success in the business world is it's about having a good team.
Yeah.
And I tried TropheCase myself.
Yeah.
It's just not something that can happen, by yourself. You can't do everything. Yeah. So, really how I look at our advisors at TropheCase and then our management team.
Yep.
As a solid team
group
and
of people.
And really the right pieces that we're all putting together, and we could add more when it's appropriate, but really to just move this to the next level. And we have some, as you mentioned yourself, excited for you to be a part. I know you've been very successful in many different pieces of business, and everyone brings a little something different to the team.
I'm a very hyper person.
Hey, you need energy, and as far as some of our advisors,
tell us a little bit about the Jaws.
Jaws,
Yeah.
So he is actually one of the busiest people I've ever met in my life. But no, he's got a lot of good things going on, and very, very good things of what he does for the sports world, the youth community, the AFL, many different the golf courses. So I'm excited for the future and more times to come with him, and look forward to working with him moving forward with TropheCase. Yeah,
and just to clarify, Jaws is Ron Jaworski. He was a famous quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, who does a lot of things for the sports community, and we're very excited to have him on board.
And the greatest thing too about when we first met Ron, is something that TropheCase clicked within 20 seconds. From all different aspects, honestly, just from what he's doing at the AFL and the teams that they have there. Someone from his success.
Do you remember that too? We had the meeting with Ron Jaworski, and the lady goes, "You have 5 minutes." I like looking at you. And the lady goes, "You have 5 minutes to pitch TropheCase." I was like, 5 minutes to pitch this to this idol? And we got it done. And I think right away he hopped on board.
Yeah, and he also, as we mentioned, some of the unrepresented sports, his daughters played field hockey. Yeah. So, regardless of the amount of resources that someone would have, it's just challenging for some of the sports that are out there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So TropheCase, congratulations, because I know TropheCase recently went live. It launched its public beta, which we are all very excited about. I'm ready to hit the ground running. Why don't you tell me what it's like? What's it been like up to this point? of launching TropheCase. If you could sum it up in a few words, what has that journey been like so far?
It's been exciting. It's been a lot of work, and just to have it in live in the App Store. There's been a lot of great milestones along the way, and I know there's still a lot of work ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And what next steps are you taking as far as to get the proper feedback that you need to continue to grow the app?
Yeah, so TropheCase is live in iOS and Android. We held off for a few months just because we did some internal testing. We added some features, and we also added the Android version. So that's where we just recently released it. So, and just to give the expectations around that, this is our first live public product. And really what we're focusing on over the next 3 months is to get adoption, get traction on the application, but really just learn from different user types, being athletes, coaches, athletic directors, schools. Really just learn what they need, how we can improve, and how we can help them be more successful, given everything we've already mentioned. On top of that, we are proud of the version that's out there, but we know that there is work that needs to be done from just added features and polish. So we want to be
next steps. You're kind of looking to sit down with the right people, get some valuable input and feedback that you can implement into the next version. Are you also looking to raise funding at this point?
Yeah. So and just to be transparent with everyone, it's we're not going to say this is the best social media app for athletes out there. We didn't invest Facebook billions of dollars into it. But yeah, we are looking for strategic partners and raising investment over the next 3 months. We look forward to next steps and making the improvements for the users and having the best experience for them.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to circling back to some of the meetings that we originally had, whether it was with the AHL, AFL, different athletic directors, because everyone showed interest in the app and pretty much got it right away. So I think when we circle back with them, show them a tangible product, I think there's going to be a lot of excitement around it. I'm really looking forward to that phase of this process. So to your personal life, so you have a full-time job, you build TropheCase, you have a family, you have a newborn, and you have a dog. How the hell do you take care of all of that? How do you balance that? Give me some work-life balance for some of these young entrepreneurs who don't know shit about work in those days.
Yeah, it's so as you mentioned, a few things going on, to say the least. And I don't know if you mentioned that I also have a land development company, which my wife
and a land development company.
Wife does more, a lot more than I do in that, but still, it's just another added bonus where I do put in some hours and work there. So I mean, at the end of the day, it really what it comes down to is managing your time. Very important, as you can, all the many different things going on. But it's also, you got to do what you want to do at the end of the day. So I see a great opportunity, and as our team does with TropheCase. So it's really just about executing on the most important things that you need to do to drive it forward consistently.
Do you try to take time out, each day or maybe once a week to spend with your wife or stuff like that to keep everything kind of balanced? Or do you guys work out of some sort of routine? Or
preparation and planning is very important. So
something I'm horrible at. I'm never getting married. I'm screwed.
Yeah, but whether it's the next day or the week, it changes all the time. You have to adapt to certain things, but from my wife's perspective, she supports me, so
that's awesome.
I'm very thankful for that, and I don't think we could do it without each other. And have a daughter. It's absolutely amazing.
How old is she?
She's 16 months. She's been walking for a few months now, and she's already training her how to throw some balls and
get her a profile.
She's got her baseball bat.
Case.
So yeah, she'll be on there.
Hell
We're excited. This summer, she'll be out there.
So it's great that you're building a business here in the capital region of New York. I'm building my business here. You're building your business. what organizations are you working with that you have that have kind of helped you grow your business here in the capital region? Maybe you want to give them a little bit of shout out.
Yeah, definitely. So, a startup is definitely not easy, and but what I have learned is, you don't need to be in Boston or in New York City to have a startup.
Yep.
I'm an affiliate member of the Biz Lab.
Yep.
Actually just started my second year with them. So basically what that means is they provide us resources from a legal standpoint, marketing standpoint, working with other startups, also introductions to mentors, successful investors and entrepreneurs in the area. And they provide a great value of resources. They do weekly events or monthly events here at the Biz Lab. And, really the resources that, everything's not always the easiest to find.
No.
But, if, that's the good part. There are resources here in the capital region. Also part of the hotspot New York, which is for startups that are at the beginning stages as we are. And bigger umbrella of the New York State startups. So there are, a lot of resources through the universities and certain programs that are going on that, really helped TropheCase get to where we are today.
Yeah. So one thing I like to ask the people I'm interviewing is, and again, just to kind of give entrepreneurs an idea of when they start a business, the challenges that they're going to have to overcome. Could you maybe tell us about one major failure or challenge that you had to go through that you had to overcome to keep TropheCase going? Like, what was your biggest challenge to kind of continue to keep going and get TropheCase to where it is now, or a failure you had to overcome?
So it's a great question, by the way, because there's a lot of challenges with a startup. And given
every day,
like you said, managing my job, managing my wife, my daughter, my dog. So there's challenges every day, but I think, and if you want to call it a challenge, I think just the most important thing that I've learned is, you could write a business plan or make a slide deck a million times. It's not going to go to that plan no matter what. Mm-hmm. So you can have an idea of what to do. But, until you get out there and just start, and there's just one day when I was like, you know what, I'm going to build a team, I'm going to build a product, and we're going to get it out there.
Yeah.
So really just the execution, consistent execution and driving it forward,
Focus, massive action, and execute.
Yeah, that's really it. You're going to fail.
That's Tony Robbins right there. I'm not trying to take your words.
But you just can't sit there in your office and be like, oh, I'm going to work on a business plan for a month. And then,
to be honest, I didn't even write a business plan to get my seed funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. I kind of just went in there. I pitched my vision. And I got some good people excited.
Yeah. Well, it's also not the time of early 2000s when they're raising $40 million for an idea.
Yeah.
Because it's been ruined for most of us, and there's a few companies that exist now.
Damn them.
But yeah, so you just got to prove it. Go out there, prove you have a good idea. Like you said, it makes sense whether you want to say it's the LinkedIn or Instagram for athletes. It makes sense very quickly. And we're excited to where the technology can evolve, and we have some very good innovative ideas to add to it ourselves.
Yeah. And that's another gentleman that's with Dan Nolan as one of the advisors, just to connect us with the right people and to help us grow as well. I just think that we have a great team, and I look forward to really taking TropheCase to the next level. So the last question I like to ask is, what is the best advice you've ever received?
I've been given a lot of advice over the years, and whether it's mentors or from successful people, but I think really it's actually more of a story. So going back to my days going door to door.
Yeah.
I don't remember what number it was. It's hundreds of doors a day. All I can tell you is it's in Connecticut, Fairfield County, one of the wealthiest times. So, a lot of doors get slammed. But this guy opened the door real quick and ran out. So I was like, I thought he was going to swing at me or something for an extent. And he points and he goes, go look at that sign. And I was like, that's it? And then he goes, yeah. And he turned around and slammed the door. So I was like, all right, what a day. I was like, all right, I'll go down and look at the sign. And walked. I was like, what sign? But he did say at the end of the street too. So I get down there and it was a stop sign. And, I guess, and really, the only thing that I could put together from that was he just wanted me to stop doing and stop knocking on doors and stop trying.
Yeah.
Probably stop the job I was doing.
Did that stick in your head to stop?
The biggest thing that, and that's really, the biggest advice that I've got in my life is, just don't stop. If you see something and not to give up and just keep going. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be hard times. Just keep going.
Yeah, don't listen to anyone else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Hunter, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on our show. This one's for. Thank you for your time, and we'll keep in touch. And I look forward to continue growing the business. All right. So thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Peter.
You.